Hey everyone, Tamar here from Curtain Call and Fab Collab. And today I'm super excited to host Measha Brueggergosman. Ole, ole. One of the greatest singers in the country, in my opinion, and in many other people's opinions. And for those of you watching later, just thanks for being here. Thanks for tuning in every week. Curtain Call every Wednesday, 12 p.m. EST. And which is, oh yes, hi Studio Sidra, thanks for coming back. Hi, and thanks everybody for rejoining. I think we've figured it out now. Okay, so yes, there's Measha. Measha, yeah. And for those of you watching later, for those of you just joining, Measha is an incredible opera singer and an incredible jazz singer. Now, you tell me who else out there can do both just with such talent and beauty. And let me know if you find anyone else, but I haven't. So here she is today. We're so excited. Every week, Curtain Call hosts a different woman from the performing arts industry. We've had an incredible lineup this month and every month. And today, thanks to Leah, also our co-host, for hosting the past couple weeks with Yinka. If you missed those interviews, please do go check them out. They're on our IGTV. You can see a beautiful flamenco dancer that was with us last week, Yinka. And also the week before we had, Naomi Grace, an incredible talented artist, visual artist and singer. And the week before that we had Alicia Rose, who actually manages TD Ready Commitment, which is a huge contributor and funder to the arts across Canada. So if you missed those, you can check them out in our IGTV. Now, Measha, you got to tell me, do you see this request to join button? If not, we're going to have to Zoom this otherwise, I guess, right? And Measha's actually calling. I know I said this when we tried the tech check before, but I'll say it again. Measha's calling from Vancouver, where she is recording, singing, performing, teaching. She'll tell us all about it, but with the Vancouver Symphony Orchestra. So, okay, Measha, just text us and let us know what is going on. If you can find this, I wish I could just bring you on without you requesting, but I guess Instagram doesn't allow for that, does it now? Let's see, people and Measha. Let me see if I can do it on this side. If anybody knows, better than I do how to get a guest on Instagram, please feel free to text me or to let us know. Just give us a second here while we go live with, maybe I can invite her. No, how come I can't invite her? It is not working. How strange is this? Hey mom, just figuring out how to bring Measha on. For some reason, there's an issue with this. Now you see I can bring up go live with. Stay with us, everybody, because by the time we exit and enter again, who knows what'll happen. So, oh no, you know what it says, Measha? I have some bad news. It says Measha must upgrade app in order to join. All right, so, what can we do here? Any suggestions, anybody? We got, some top-notch people on here that can help me out. So, Measha, is there? How long would it take to update your Instagram? Should we reconvene in 5 minutes? Are you able to update your Instagram? I'm sorry. Oh, thanks, Studio Sidra. If you click invite me. Okay. What? I will do that. Okay, so sorry, everybody. But this is what happens when you're live for real. What can I tell you? In the meantime, upgrade the app takes 2 minutes. Okay, thanks guys. In the meantime, I have an idea. Why don't you guys please comment here what your question, if you have any questions or burning questions that you want to know about Measha. If you've looked her up, if you've heard her sing, where have you seen her? Let me know. Have you seen her perform online? Have you seen her perform live? Have you, being dying to ask her that one burning question? Tell us in the chat and I'll save those questions and I'll ask her as soon as she upgrades the app and comes back on. Oh my goodness. Okay. It's okay. These things happen. It's all good. Oh, there we go. I think I can do it. Don't forget, still ask those questions and we'll still answer them. Hey!
Okay. Let's just acknowledge that was intense and that this conversation is going to be so good because it took so much effort to get. Really, Instagram? You're going to wait for the live chat to tell me that I have to upgrade. Cool. I won't forget that. Mark,
And here is Measha.
how you doing?
I'm great. Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
times in the hotel room.
And in person is just so much better. This would never happen in person.
Oh,
So
right?
we'll just have to redo everything in person with a live audience. We'll be like a talk show. You know what I mean? We'll host
I
a
know.
talk show. We'll invite all our favorite guests and
The
we'll do it all live.
in the morning. Yeah, I got it. I got it.
We'll have a theme song. It's going to be great.
Yeah, yeah. Little Parks and Rec.
Everyone will dance flamenco.
I'll be like, yeah, I will. I'll snaps. I love it. Oh,
Like
it's exciting.
I wore glitter just for you.
Oh, day glitter, casual glitter. We've got little day glitter. I love a casual glitter. That's very important to me.
I know. I think you should market that hashtag. The copyright it so only you can use hashtag casual glitter. It's all yours, Measha.
Casual glitter. I mean, it's hard entire look. Yeah.
Note to Instagram,
So,
my mom says, do not mess with Measha.
I'm gonna shout out the earring lady because you have a pair of her earrings. Her name is Eris Starr. She's from my hometown of Fredericton, New Brunswick, and she is an Indigenous artist from the St. Mary's Reserve in my town, on my side of the river, on the north side.
On the right side of the river.
On the right side. We called it the dark side growing up, and now, of course, it's super gentrified, and it even has a high school. It's all fancy.
I mean, it has Measha. I don't know how much more gentrified you're gonna get.
I know it's true. Oh my god. So listen, how's the drive going?
Oh yes, you know all about it. So we've made it as far as Calgary.
Nice.
That was intense. There was a couple hundred trucks piled up on the Trans Canada up in the mountains, so we had to wait that out for a few hours. But we made it here, and unfortunately, now you and I, Measha, we've kind of split ways and gone opposite directions. So you shouldn't be interviewing me. I've got to be interviewing you. Where are you? How is the flight back? How is the flight? Where are you?
Well, listen, I loved our time in Nelson. I had never been there before, and of course, had heard such amazing things about the Shambhala Festival, and was super excited to see beautiful Corinne and Corinne Bunchu. I hope you're watching, girl. You'll watch later. Anyway, and her parents, oh, what beautiful people. Anyway, I'm not gonna call them out or anything because I want to respect their privacy. But let's face it, it was just a beautiful time, and I really needed it. No, I was here doing performances with the Vancouver Symphony, singing a little Mahler and some Strauss for their Cyber Gala. This is a very resilient orchestra. They have managed to bring me and have a live setting, but socially distanced, and chamber orchestra versions of these Mahler, Knaben and Wunderhorn songs. And just the players, delightful. And Otto Tausk, their conductor. Hey there, Robert Davis from Cleveland. Hi, yeah. And I gotta say, so then I had these 2 days off. And now I'm teaching the youngins. Although there is one woman in the class who is exactly 43, which is my age, and they're, in various degrees of their education, masters, on their way to doctorate, or some gap year diploma situation. It's the Vancouver Symphony Orchestra School of Music. It's the only school of music attached to an orchestra, if you can believe that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's surprising.
It's kind of neat,
I think it would be mandatory.
You'd think. It makes perfect sense. And I'm just going to, call out the Angela Elster of the situation, because she's just one of the super strong, incredibly capable and passionate women, in the arts, of course, which we aspire to be. You're doing it. Ma'am, Fab Collab. Check it. No, I'm doing it. I'm not going to deny that I'm doing it. I know full well that I'm trying to be busy at the right things. And I don't always succeed, of course. None of us do. It's balance. But I'm really loving this season, frankly, to be completely honest.
Why is
but
that?
you almost feel like you're betraying humanity by being positive in this season, right? Because they're you almost feel like it's so popular to be down and pessimistic, and I refuse. You know how I feel. Tomorrow,
yes.
Vocal about my faith, about how much strength and power and fearlessness it gives me, and I just love how much I get to love because, of my faith. So it's just like one of those things. And I feel like I'm monologuing. So
I
please.
mean, that's what this is all about, you know? But I will ask you some questions and push us in a direction or so. But,
All I want to say is
do your
that
thing, Measha.
I'm putting the cherry on this Sunday is that we are a part of the solution, and the arts are part of the solution, and we are essential to people's mental health, and just the singing of it all, the talking of it all, the people not feeling aloneness of it all, like you're not the only one,
Mm-hmm.
And I do believe that the work we're doing is incredibly crucial to the healing
Mm-hmm.
of humanity.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think I'm overstating it, and I am going to act thusly, because I think people really need encouragement and a good laugh. And please let's not lose our sense of humor. Man, then the earth is really over and COVID is one.
I'm really not worried about you losing your sense of humor. That's last on the list of worries for me. But Measha, I'm happy to see you. For those of you just joining, obviously you know that we're with Measha Brueggergosman, the one and only, the greatest opera singer, the greatest jazz singer, the greatest person. Okay,
So let's not go crazy.
I mean, at least for now, at least for this interview.
There are people, I'm going to go ahead and say, oh, Otto! Yay! That's the conductor of the Vancouver Symphony. He just came on. Right? That is so nice. And love to always working with some beautiful people that I truly adore. And anyway, hello. People, I won't tell your secrets. Like, I'm not even going to tell you who he's working with. I am a keeper of people's business. I pride myself on that. Now, if you want to put anybody in the chat there, Otto, and then I can say how much I love them. But anyway, you have questions, and I will do my best to answer them.
I don't know. I'm kind of just enjoying this.
There's nothing you can't ask me. Let the church say amen.
Ole. So that goes for everybody watching, I think, too. So if you have a question, put it down there. Just saying.
Keep it Christmassy. Get weird, but yes, you can.
So let's just start, and one of the main questions of all time, I guess, for artists is like, what started you? Why opera? Why do you sing? Where did it all begin? What's your first memory?
Well, I love talking about that because I was, there is a quote in scripture where it says, whom he calls, he ordains, and who he justifies, he preordains. Or so there's like a whole list of things that gives you like ownership in God, and there's something to that in my Fabian Gabel. Okay, snaps and tiny pause for another conductor who I adore. Ole, Fabian.
Ole.
And your wife, like, God love you. Somebody's saying I'm a survivor of an aortic dissection, and it was so important to hear your story when I started performing. Well, praise be Sarah Rose Muse. Okay, I started very early. Most singers do not have to start as early as I did, and most don't. But the music teacher of my elementary school told my parents that I had an affinity for, music-y things and classical things. I wanted piano lessons because my sister had piano lessons. I was listening to Saturday afternoons at the opera, Saturday afternoons at the Metropolitan Opera at the Met, hosted by Howard Dick. Texaco broadcast. Ben Hafner did it, and then somebody else did it. Anyway, the point is this. We would listen to it every Saturday. And my father worked for the CBC for 33 years. Pastor Sterling Gosman before he became a pastor. And he's in glory, but he had like a 10-year ministry at the New Midas Baptist Church, my church too, so hey-yo, and NBC. But I grew up at BSUBC, which is Brunswick Street United Baptist Church, a church that had classical music as its music tradition, predominantly. Like, we got all the vineyard stuff.
Wow.
On like every other, kind of Baptist. As the music ministry grows, it's very important that you acknowledge, what is happening in the day. Like, God is not in one style of music, people. That's ridiculous. The math doesn't add up. If he's eternal, omnipotent, everywhere, and knows everything, how could he be in one style? That makes no sense. So anyway, God is in all music. And I'll tell you, I'm not talking bitches and hoes here. Like, I'm talking the music and the creativity and the kernel of what makes music so powerful is God, right? But you know, people use it for evil all the time. Don't catch me up on that. But I started in a classical tradition at my Brunswick Street United Baptist Church with David Steves, and the music director, just to speak her name, the music teacher of my elementary school was Diane Wilkins. So my choral singing was all with her. My solo chops were developed with, you know, David Steves. And then, well, Mr. Steves would pass me on to Mabel Doak, who, as it turned out, is Mrs. Wilkins's mom.
Wow.
Right? So she taught all the boy students in town, and she would introduce me to one of her former students, Wendy Nielsen. Check it, right? Who would then get me to my mayor, my Mary Morrison. I mean, I'm just going to tell you right now that I've been with Mary Morrison since I was 17 years old. And I'm also Christine Morey, like of Bravo Niagara. She's texting me right now. And Christine, you need to come on the thing. Like, I don't know if anybody can tell Bravo Niagara that Measha wants them to come and watch this, but this would be so something you would love. Anyway, I went to study with Mary Morrison at the University of Toronto. My parents sent a tape, and I think Wendy Nielsen's strong recommendation. I never met Mary before my first lesson. She totally took me on spec, and I had a full scholarship. I was very talented. I mean, I was, you know,
Still are.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like, but the thing is, what people need to understand about my trajectory is that, like, I have like a good 10 years on my colleagues, right? And add to, like in the industry, like as a singer working, doing, you know, really as my only job, like I really have only done this one thing. So, you know, like I'm like 53, and then you add the 2 emergency open heart surgeries, so I'm about 73 in dog years, right? Like it's been a big, hard, delightful, incredibly interesting life. I mean, I wrote a book, as you know, at 39, called Something Is Always on Fire, My Life So Far, because I'm not sure I'll be able to live the next 40 years without having dumped all that in a book, right? Because it's all the stuff, like it's, you know, being married and being born, like being raised in such a way as to value my body, so as to know that what I had to give by way of my like divine romance in terms of like my virginity and just the value of such a precious thing, and to be able to give that to my husband and be raised and knowing why, you know, you save yourself for that beautiful thing. Like that was a huge part of why I'm, you know, so super, I have a pride of place. Like I know whose I am.
Interesting.
So it's like it's just been interesting, and the singing does that. Like the singing does that. Like make no mistake, the fact that I, you know, was a soloist, my whole life, is a double-edged sword, right? Because you are set apart, but you're also just like everybody else, right? So you're like, it's a bit of a mind meld, because you know you have to be great, and you're called to greatness, as we all are. But it's a public kind of greatness. So how authentic can it be without you giving everything away?
Oh, you must. I agree with that. Yeah.
You know what I
There's
mean?
no other way.
So as revealing as this book is, I still have like super amounts like of secrets. Like I kept stuff, you know, like I thought it was important, and it is important to not say everything, right? Like, come on. Like,
I mean,
exercise the like luxury of an unexpressed thought. Like, you know what I mean? Like my mother would say that. She'd like, entertain it, Measha Ann. Like just the possibility of an unexpressed thought. Because as you know, like I can monologue.
I love it though. Makes my job easy. I'm just joking. That's what it's all about, Measha. We're here to hear
Was
about
there
you.
a question in there? I feel like it was like how I became a singer.
Yeah.
Like that thing. And then I went to university, and then I went and studied with Edith Weens at the Robert Schumann Musik Hochschule in Düsseldorf und ich kann Deutsch. Ja, ich bin so stolz, dass ich Deutsch sprechen kann. I'm really proud that I can speak German.
I'm
This
proud
is
of
what
you
I
too. Yeah.
because it's a super hard language.
That's
And I
incredible. I mean, for singing, it must help a lot,
je parle aussi
right?
français. Like I grew up in New Brunswick, so
Très bien, très bien.
très bien.
Right. So tell
So
us,
this,
you're from Nova Scotia. So it began also in Nova Scotia, right? You're from Nova Scotia.
no,
I do want to
okay,
touch
go one north, Nouveau Brunswick. Je viens de Nouveau
Nouveau
Brunswick.
Brunswick. Oh,
I
you
grew
just
up
lived
in New
there.
Brunswick.
Got it. There you go. You learn something every day.
Yeah,
And
Fredericton, Nashwauk says. And I have lived in Nova Scotia for about 8 years.
got
My
it.
second son was born in Nova Scotia, and my first son was born in Ottawa. We were living in Ottawa at the time. And as soon as my shepherd Peter was born, I was like, I need to get to my parents. None of this makes sense without my parents. And I was like, one of the reasons I had kids was because I saw my parents as grandparents. I didn't have any kids. I didn't have any grandparents growing up. They were all dead by the time I was, 6, 7. Like I have
Yeah.
memories of my grandfather and my grandmother, but like not in the way that my children will remember their grandparents.
It's so
And
amazing.
they have 3 sets because my husband has a wife who's got like really great parents too. So it's like they're filled to the brim with love, my sons.
I know, they're so sweet.
Just need you to know, like, if you can do it good and get it good in a divorce kind of way, because it is very, very painful. It is the death of something. It is incredibly, you know, difficult to go through, but that's the adult's problem, right? Be an adult. Stop being so selfish. Just like get it done, because the better you do this, especially if there are little eyes watching, the more likely it is for them to have successful marriages, because how you get out is just as important as how you get in.
Oh,
Right.
thanks for that,
So
Measha. Everyone take note.
I like that I got to experience, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I like that I got to experience divorce, in the same way that I like that I got to experience not 1, but 2 open heart surgeries. And you know why? It's because I wouldn't know nearly as much.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
or be living nearly as fearlessly.
Well, I'm glad that you experienced all those things and came out stronger, and you're still with us. You're still here today. I'm so happy to know you, gotta say. Ole, ole. But tell me, can I ask you, because I get this question all the time as a flamenco artist, not from Spain, right? So can I ask you, you've been in this your whole life, but have you ever been challenged, or has anyone sort of said, you don't have the right to sing opera because you're not from here or from there or from this background or from that background or any of those things? Because I get that challenge and I want to know, do other people get that challenge? Do you get that challenge or not? You might not. People say, you have the right to sing this.
I first of all have to acknowledge the fact that is honestly the first time I've been asked that question, which is funny.
Wow. Amazing.
Because it is such a great question. Now, do I have imposter syndrome? Oh, hell to the yes. Like, I'm not up in there going, oh, gee, Mahler is in Britain. Of course, the Purcell. Like, it's not my way. It's not my natural inclination. Oh, loved you in Murdoch Mysteries. People, I think I've been seen in that Murdoch Mysteries. I think they're playing it on a loop. The people, and I love that show. Oh, man, don't you love a show that it's like a warm blanket, nobody's gonna get up in there all N-wording you and with the treatment of women and could you just give me some, thank you, CBC, I'm just gonna say it. Anyway, so we were talking about whether or not I feel pride of place in classical music. I do know I'm good at it. Yeah, like nobody's gonna come up in here and be like, gee, Measha, do you have the album? I'm gonna stop you right there. Like, Google search it, bitch. Because it's seriously, I now realize how much time I've actually been in this industry.
I'm dying. Can we take that as your quote from the interview?
No,
Google search it, bitch.
No,
just joking.
Yeah, no, you can keep it though. I mean, I stand by it. But I'll tell you, I have known not much else besides classical music. It has been like my fascination for practically my whole life. I sometimes say that my voice is my longest relationship, but it's really my relationship with classical music. I use my voice now for many different things, but I'm always measuring it against like my classical process, which of course is my origin story. Now, do people assume that the music tradition I grew up in, when I say I grew up in the church, is classical music? No, they do not, because people be racist, yo. And it's totally fine. So what? Offense is something you decide to pick up. You can just easily not pick it up. So when I get to correct people about the assumption they made about me growing up in the black church, doing all the black singing with the black people, I'm like, listen, that's not how it went down. We sang Mendelssohn, Bach, Handel. And like the very first time I sang with orchestra, I was like 17. It was with the Fredericton Chamber Players, and I sang excerpts from Handel's Messiah and Exultate Jubilate. Like I was like, people, I have like 10, 12 years on my colleagues. So when I got like a little bored in my mid 30s and started doing other things, it's not because classical music stopped challenging me, or, you know, it's because I was like 47 in the industry. Like that's about the time that you start thinking, like case in point, it's at Roman, Thomas Kostov, Anne-Sophie Motto. No, Anne-Sophie Fonotto, sorry, the Swedish mezzo. You know, they all Sting. Remember that Dowland album? I have no read on any of these projects, by the way. Yo-Yo Ma, Bobby McFerrin, like all of these, the Marsalises, like, come on. Like there are people constantly bridging the gap. Michael Tilson Thomas, Jason Bates. You know, this is the future.
We have somebody that played in that concert, Measha. Oh, this is the VSO director, right?
Yvonne Kershaw. Oh my goodness! In the Fredericton Chamber, she's in the origin story. Yvonne Kershaw, bassoonist to the stars. Was it bassoon? In the tell me if it was bassoon or flute.
Love the gold on you. We're just getting constant feeds of appreciation here. I agree with all of them, for the record. And my mom hashtagged your quote here. That's my mom, by the way, Judith Cohen. Hashtag Google search it, bitch.
I'm just saying, I stand by it. I stand by it.
So the answer is no. No one has ever questioned you about this being your thing.
I definitely, because the battle is won inside your head. That's where the war is actually raging. So what you tell yourself is going to be how you carry yourself. That's also, I just made that up, but I also,
it's very true. Yeah.
True, right? Because so I say all the time, you know, okay, do you really, is it deserve? Are you really, all of those questions that lead to a place of lack, you know, do you deserve this? Are you worthy? Shouldn't you? You've always been. No one has ever. And then if you can pivot and see them from a perspective of opportunity, then you get to be the answer to the question, the solution to the problem, the thing that people have been waiting for. You know, I have to say, I'm going to say that I recently started dating. And I don't date, so obviously I'm, you know.
Oh my God, you're saying this live on Instagram.
No, I'm not saying anything. All I'm saying is that I realize that I'm not saying, and you can just keep this to yourself tomorrow, because right behind
everyone listening publicly,
that's where we sat, and I told you stuff, and so I'm not going to say stuff, but
I'm not saying anything. You're spilling the beans by yourself.
I'm only making the point that there is a certain like destination and a certain kind of magnetism that comes from like just being incredibly cool. I mean, you know, you have Ali. Like Ali was like incredible. You guys are so adorable.
Hi,
like and like, I'm just gonna say, this was all leading to the car, okay? Because the car was so great. I loved our ride, and it was stress-free. And you know that a couple in a car can like turn that
It can be
beep,
hell. It can be heaven or hell. So just
right?
for
It
those
can
of you
be
who have no clue what we're talking about, we drove to Nelson from Vancouver last weekend on Saturday with me and my partner Ali and Measha, superstar here. And it was such a beautiful, like, I don't know how many hours, 7, 8 hours drive through the mountains in BC. And that's what Measha's referring to. And it was just
in a
a
breeze. I went
pleasure. And
breeze. They were
yeah, it
so
was beautiful.
lovely. You can
Thank
never
you.
do a road trip.
I was kind of hoping that it would line up so we could have an in-person interview, like on couches facing each other, all talk show hosty. But
I
that'll
know.
happen. It's all good. It's okay.
But
I'm
you,
so glad to spend any time with you.
I'm flying tomorrow. You have to like, you know, brum brum, beep beep.
We'll
Like
be there.
you're
We'll be there. We'll see you. We'll see you in your next destination. Don't even worry, wherever that is. So,
wherever.
okay, I know you have a hard stop very soon. So I want to make sure I ask you like a big question that I
Well,
think. Mhm.
I don't want to feel pressure because the master class starts at 10:30. So I need some moments to like do some notes and journaling and pray. But
Of
as long
course.
as we're off by like 10:10 or something like that, that's
You
fine.
tell us. You just say, gotta go now, and we'll pick up later. So, but the question is, okay, we'll do this. Do you want to do this one first? What's your go-to
Yeah.
song to put you in a good mood?
So Matt Rand, now I know who that is, but I can't quite place it. Anyway, he is asking, what's your go-to song to put you in a good mood? Well, listen, I'm going to Matt Wren 86 tell you the God's honest truth because I promised to tell the truth a long time ago.
Hmm.
And, you know, it does involve Jesus. Like it's about to get all Jesus-y up in here
Well, that's
because
where we were going anyway. I was going to ask you about your faith and how that influences your singing and your life. I don't even need to ask you the question. I think you're going to go there anyway. So, perfect segue. Let's do it.
that's, thank you. I mean, I love every chance I get to, you know, just talk about what he's done for me. But the point is, I would be listening to this praise and worship song by Hillsong. It's a music ministry out of Australia, and it's called and it combines my, like, of course Jesus is as my the first love of my life, but then not far behind is wine. I really love wine.
I didn't
So
see that one coming, but
this praise
it's fitting.
worship is called New Wine.
Oh my God. And it
And
all ties together.
the opening lines are, in the crushing, in the pressing, you are making new wine. And then it goes on and says, so I yield to you in all your tender care. God, I trust you. I don't need to understand. Make me a vessel, make me an offering, make me whatever you want me to be. I came here with nothing, but all you have given me, Jesus, bring new wine out of me. So it's that kind of a sacrificial prayer. And that is what I listen to get me in a posture of gratitude. Because everything I have is because of him.
Well, I might ask you later, and zero pressure at all. Please say no if you want to. However, if you would like to sing us a snippet of that song before you leave today, the pleasure would be
Oh,
all mine. But if
yeah.
not, we'll hear you later.
That's okay. Leah Granger is like,
Just
Jesus,
saying.
then wine. Great hierarchy.
I
Oh, so glad you
agree,
joined.
Leah. Leah's our co-host. She hosted last week. Yeah. She'll be
Leah,
hosting next week.
bless me, yeah, with your succinctness. So
We'll all have wine together at some point. Don't even worry. But Misha will pray first.
I
I'm sure
will.
of it.
I'll just break out.
I gotta
No,
say that journey in the car ride with you, with like 8 hours or whatever, it was the clearest. I was telling Ali, it was like the clearest, most easy car ride, and you did pray before we leave. So I don't know if it's a coincidence or it's all about that, but
of course it's not a coincidence. What do I pray to hear myself talk? No, it goes somewhere, please. No, and it really was. And I like to pray, like my son, or we leave the garage. Now let me paint you a picture of the Brueggergosman household.
okay, yes, please do.
Okay, so I have two sons, 5 and 8. Sterling Marcus is 5, and Shepherd Peter is 8. And there's no talking at full voice because Mama's not a morning person, right? So we whisper. in the Brueggergosman.
Oh, we should have done this interview with a whisper because it's pretty much early morning over there for you. Sorry, Measha, we should have started as a whisper.
So we whisper, and until we get in the car, right? So when we get in the car, people can start talking. But until then, like, Mama needs the coffee. You need to. Now, everything is in the car already. So it's not like it's a lot of whispering. But if they wake up and they want to play, they had better do so whispering. And they're really, really great. Like, they're super great. And they usually coming in with me anyway. Like, there's not a lot of separation, with us at home. So then we get in the car, and then, I open the garage and we pray, and we hold hands. Like, I think I'll probably have rotator cuff issues from like holding my arm back there to hold the boys' hand. And then we each take our turns. And then we pray for the drive. We pray that, God would keep the animals off the road, and that we live in the country, right? So that we would neither be in an accident nor cause an accident. And, that we would speak to each other in loving kindness, and sometimes we succeed. Most of the time it's quite good. But man, sometimes, and it usually comes down to the times when we didn't pray or forgot, or we're in a hurry,
right.
Or, up and, didn't start the day right.
Mm-hmm. You and set that intention.
Yeah, and then so we do it. But we put a Jesus on it. Like, we literally were like, and we're not, we're not unspecific people, but they're like, and we thank you that we got to use our tablets. They're like, really, they're.
Do your sons sing at all?
Oh, I hope not.
Why?
I mean, if it's their gift, then fine. But, you were up here trying to.
Well, I was picturing you guys praying operatically, but I guess that's not how it is. No. Okay.
Oh, are we coming back to you and how you tried to not be in the arts because of how I'm not about
this interview is about you. This is
but it's about like making sure that they grow up with like a healthy love of music, and I don't necessarily know if you can maintain that and pursue it.
Mm-hmm.
And yet I think understanding a sense of call, duty, service, selflessness, kindness, it doesn't really much matter where you put those things in. If those ingredients are in you, whatever you touch will heal people. And those are the men I'm raising.
Well, the world needs them, so thank you.
Yeah,
thank you, definitely. Measha. Really, we
You're
do.
welcome.
So I don't know who Shar Flew 23 is, but I love your comments. Thank you so much. Prayer is guidance on a huge level. Really an attitude of gratitude. Yes, and that it's not just an influence on you; it's a deep part of your life, Measha. So yes. I'm not making light of it, just so you know. I just have so much fun with Measha. I hope Measha might know that, but just for those of you watching, it comes from a place of
is God invention.
Love. Yes. Good. And Leah's calling for duet. You two are magic together. A flamenco opera duet. My dream. Let's do it. We have plans. We actually have plans. It might involve long gowns and some flying, but we're saving that for later.
I'm in. I'm in. I'm all in with you tomorrow. All in.
Right back at you. Don't careful, because if you say that, there's like a million things that could happen. So Charlotte from Moncton. Oh, thank you. Got it. Hi, Charlotte. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your comments. Yes. Now, you live in Measha's home province. Yes. Oh, lucky. East Coast. Here we come. So tell us, Measha, can you just, I know, like, I have like 10,000 questions for you. That's the problem. So it's very hard to not ask, like, this can go on forever. But tell us at least like what you're doing now and sort of how you've said this is your favorite season, and you almost feel bad for saying that. But how have you, an artist, Measha, survived, not just survived, but thrived in this pandemic? And how should the rest of us do it,
Well, this is a great question, super timely. Obviously, people are asking that of themselves like every second. I'd love to know what like amount of people, like is it 1.2 billion people per second? Think about the uncertainty of this season and how best to move forward. I'd say that that's an accurate, non-scientific statistic. I think we've got the door of opportunity swinging, and we just have to decide if we're going to like walk through it or just watch it on its hinges, because we are in a season that's never been more egalitarian. You know, it's kind of a content heavy for those of us who are able to mobilize or enable people to mobilize or be a part of the mobilization. And it is very much, you know, in these kind of militaristic terms, because we're not going back to where we were. So people need to mourn that and move on. And I did have a period of mourning. Like I really was quite sad for a minute thinking about, you know, what had been lost. But the thing is that I never took it for granted. Like I
Right.
was up in there wondering how all this goodness was happening to me. Like I
Hmm.
couldn't even believe that I'd gotten to live as long as I had, by the
Oh
way.
my God, another topic we haven't even talked about that yet, really.
But
Oh my
also like
God.
to have like come through divorce and have my children and, you know, understand the value of like selfless love and forgiveness and all of these lessons that I don't think have anything to do with singing. And yet that's the tool
Hmm.
of my trade. I mean, that's my stock and trade. So I, you know, got to making stuff
I
that
don't know
involved.
about that because singing is all of that, you know? Without that, you can sing, but nobody will, they might not care, you know? But when you
Yeah,
bring all of
but
that and you transmit it through your singing, that's what we feel.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of nice sounding emptiness out there, for
Exactly.
sure. I mean, you can put a lot of things on that mean nothing. And I think that I didn't want to be that. So I thought, you know, kind of long and hard about the opportunities that I wanted, you know, people that I wanted to work with, you know, opportunities that I want. I just picked up the phone, you know, and Angela Elster here at the Vancouver Symphony is
Hmm.
like a comrade, you know.
Right.
Nelson McDougall over at the National Arts Center Orchestra is a comrade, you know.
Hmm.
Marsha Pinkonet Lejeunesse sing at Opera Atelier, Christine Maury, Bravo Niagara. There are people whose names you speak because they have been so faithful to you. You know, Naomi Campbell at Luminato. Let's speak their names because these organizations are keeping the arts in the position of essentialness that is like exactly where the arts need to be positioned right now.
Hmm.
Now is the time of like innovation, and because it's never been more important to be creative,
Hmm.
right? We have parameters around which we must continue to advance forward. But advance forward we will. We won't be exhausted. We will wait on the Lord. She's quoting scripture. She will fly up on wings like eagles. She will run and not be faint. Okay. She finally got all right.
Love it.
Right. No,
So,
it's true. But
but you can
I
pick up the phone, right, Misha?
yeah.
You've built that over the course of your life. As you said, you're
Well,
43, but you're 73 in the terms as you
dog,
stated them. So you can pick
right,
up the phone, but what about those who can't pick up the phone
right.
and call? Like
Well, then call me.
how does art
Call the,
survive?
if I'm the conduit to something that you want to do, call tomorrow. Like call whoever is doing something.
Pick up the phone anyway.
I want to do something or
I love
start
it.
something. Like turn on your effing phone. I'm sorry. Who is unable to create content? Like, what are you? Are you telling me you don't have a phone now? You're too
Some
good.
people don't.
I mean, what? Like, go to an internet cafe, break into it. Remember those internet cafes?
Oh, I
But
grew up in those internet cafes. Oh yeah.
you are fully equipped to accomplish the task that you have been called to.
Hmm.
Where you are in whatever situation you are, we're all recovering from something.
Hmm.
We're all against something. We all have our backs up against something. We're all at a precipice overlooking something. All
Hmm.
of us
Hmm.
are fully equipped,
Hmm.
not sort of equipped,
Hmm.
fully equipped.
Hmm.
Have your calling is where you are. Your calling is
Ole.
not my, stop trying to put together, you know, the picture on my Lego box with your pieces. That's not how this works. Get your own box. You know, I mean, that's the thing. It's like but you are, and yes, I'm here as a beacon of hope for you, for sure. But that doesn't mean you want my life. It's mine. Get your own.
Get your own Lego box. I love all your quotes are just so good, Measha. Okay, so I got it. I agree with you. I mean, a lot of art. I just want to see what you had to say, but I mean, definitely, like a lot of art, like flamenco itself, comes from like the hardest of times and the poorest of people. So yeah. So now we have phones. I agree. We can do this. So let's do it. Yeah, and I agree with Measha. Reach
Hi,
out. You want
Amanda.
to do something? Call me. Call Measha. We'll help you out. Let's do it. Amanda, hi Amanda, beautiful singer here. And Charlotte says we need a rainbow that comes after the rain. I agree with that for sure. And Maria, you're saying that Measha used to take voice lessons with Mary Morrison. Yeah, she did speak about it at the beginning. But can you just, and do you plan to keep singing with her in the future? Can you tell us how old sweet Mary Morrison, I hope to meet her one day, is?
She's about 372, give or take.
Why do I ask?
And she is spry, lovely. I love her. I also will keep her secrets. She has been just the most, she's seen me through all the seasons. I used the vocal warm-up to this day that we recorded in 2019 after my last open heart surgery. And it's like 17 minutes, 13 minutes long, something like that. And I love it. It always puts my voice exactly where it needs to be. And it also takes me to her. She's the one I miss the most in this season, you know, and I really miss her. I never, again, she's like about 403, I think. And
Gets older
so
by the minute.
just, she's constantly like marinating into ever greater things. And students love her. And those who don't get it, but they will.
You.
You know what I mean? Like there's just something about her that is timeless, you know, and I've needed her and been able to grow under her tutelage in every season of my life, which you can say about a lot of teachers, you know, and she really just, I mean, she was old when I got there.
Well, she's 472 now.
You know what I mean? Like at 203, she was already, you know, she already occupied that space in my heart. And she was the teacher for 43 when I was 17. You know, she treats me with such respect and treats everybody she teaches.
Now here's a question. Does she have any online presence or ability to be online? And would you consider, you know, speaking with her online?
Call her. Don't reach out to her. She's not taking new students.
I will not. I'm saying you. I'm calling you.
No, exactly. I will absorb all of it because she just doesn't need anything but to sit and do whatever she wants. And I'm not about to bring more busyness to that woman because I'm not going to tell you anything. But don't call her. Don't call her.
Well, we're calling you Measha. And just to honor her name, Mary Morrison, you know, thanks for teaching Measha all these years. That's all we got to say.
Yeah.
And being there for you. And okay, I know I'm just keeping track of the time because we can go on forever. So 11:02. I have I have two things. The first is, but don't answer it immediately because I want to say them both at the same time. So the first is, if there's anything that you really want to get across.
I'm eating toast while you.
No, yeah, you do your thing. You do your thing. But we wouldn't have it any other way. So, you know, if there's anything before you go that you really want to get across that we haven't covered, that you want people to know about you, about your music, about the arts, about the world, about your life, about faith, anything. And also, you know, if you would consider singing that song or any song, even for 30 seconds before you leave, even a vocal warm up, just so we get a hint of your, you know, voice, of your magic.
Yes, I was just reading that comment, but it's a lot. Yes. Tomorrow you'll be able to read it for me.
Yeah, of course. Do you remember the Baroque teacher, Professor Johnston?
Oh, yes.
He started introducing his course by telling them that Measha passed his course at the faculty when studying there.
I sure did. I even did Baroque movement. Like I was explaining, you know, that I was like early on, right? Like this whole thing was kind of like interested in freeing myself up, having, been already singing for, 10 years by the time I got to university, as a soloist, this kind of thing, and I was very interested in that. And then like I ballooned to like 365 pounds, and then movement became a sort of like thing of maybe a distant future. And then when I lost, the weight, then I went and I worked for Opera Atelier, for whom I am currently the artist in residence. And in that process was, kind of unlocked the movement type of thing, which is a very important thing for singers. I mean, you're doing like a full, I mean, Tamar, can I just testify to your giftedness? Because all this, I'll sit and listen to you talk about flamenco and this cycle of 12 and like all that and the different styles and the fuegos and the stuff. Like and really am no closer to understanding it, but I still.
Well, you just said a lot of things there, so I disagree. Cycle of 12,
Okay.
fuego, like you're yeah.
I'm gonna keep orbiting your planet because it's gonna this. It is the one art form, and you keep telling me that I could do it, and I do not believe you.
I have faith in that for sure. We will prove the world. We will prove to the world that you can sing flamenco. Next time we're online together.
Exactly. Like I want to say it so that I have said it on the record that I was like, it's not, so that when it happens, we'll know that we're testifying to God's goodness, because it will be a miracle.
It will happen.
It will be a miracle. But I
have zero doubt.
I think it's like, and you can too type thing. Like, it's like, that's what this season is, right? We're up here being Fab Collabby, doing all the videos, going across, doing the flamenco documentary in this thing. I'm on my way to Toronto to film a Oscar Peterson tribute. And then I go to the National Arts Center to film my episode of Undisrupted, where I'm transmitting the orchestra through the lens of hip hop. Obviously, I mean, that's what opera singers do.
Love
and
it.
I've been executive producing videos and just
of course you have.
Grabbing hold of whatever comes across my desk. And I'm just Tamar, for like saying yes to some of the craziness, and then also inviting me to your craziness.
Oh, always. I will always say yes, and I will always invite you. So it sounds like we have a lot of stuff in the future going to happen. Amanda's also calling for a duet. I can't wait to hear it. And yes, that you rock flamenco. Okay, I know. She really would.
This is new wine, okay? But I need to just make sure that I just give me 1 second while if I go to look for the text, will I hang up?
Can somebody else answer that? Because I'm not sure.
Let me see.
I can get the text here and hold it up.
I'm there. So it goes on, go away and then come back. Like it goes. Am I back?
Yeah, you're here. You're here. You're here. Yeah, you're here.
Okay. Let me just do it quick in 10 seconds.
No problem. I'll hold it down. I'll hold it down while you're gone. So guys, everyone, just so you know, I'll take a minute to plug. This is a curtain call every Wednesday. Myself and our co-host Leah Granger, we host a different woman in the music industry, in the performing arts industry, actually, every week, Wednesday, 12 p.m. Toronto time, so 12 p.m. EST. There we go. I just did a little plug while you were gone. So welcome back.
So let me just try and put in, okay, I'm trying to, well, I want to put it, I can't comment. Okay, listen. I'm just saying, this is so weird because it's doing a thing. Comment failed post. Anyway, let me see if I can memorize it.
All you need is a line. We just need a taste. You can make up the words. No, I'm joking. Yes, thanks, Ali. Follow Fab Club Live. You can see all our previous interviews. And we have huge news. I'm going to announce it in a second, but it's about March 7th. So keep that date in your mind. There we go. Nice. Nice. Good timing. Gotta put the hair.
Thank you so much. I'll try my best. I sort of looked for it, but I'm not sure if I'll remember. But so In the crushing, in the pressing, you are making new wine. In the soil now, I surrender. You are breaking new ground. So I yield to you in all your offering. Lord, I trust you. I don't need to understand. So make me your vessel. Make me an offering. Make me whatever you want me to be. God, I came here with nothing but all you have given me. Jesus, bring new wine out of me. Oh, Jesus, bring new wine out of me.
Oh my God, Measha, I just want to listen to you all day. We can talk and talk and talk as artists and singers, but at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Jesus and Wine, I can see why that's your favorite song. I got it.
I love Jesus like a little bit more, but wine is up there. Yeah. You know,
we can do that one flamenco style. It's easy. Jesus and Wine.
Oh, see? I'm telling you, we've got it. Well,
all right, so stay
so
tuned, everyone. There's a lot more coming from Measha and Tamar.
Yes.
But Measha's got to go. It's 11:11, which I love that number. So at least it is where I am in Calgary. Right.
Yeah.
It's not, and it's not elsewhere. Yeah.
Like special number.
Right? Perfect timing. So Measha's got to go. She has things to do and places to be. So she's going to go teach the Vancouver Symphony Orchestra kids. Am I correct?
Vancouver Symphony Orchestra School of Music. And UBC
right. School of
students. The UBC vocal students this afternoon. So, yes.
Lucky them. I wish I could fly there and just be part of that class right now. But
so
stay tuned. Go follow Measha. Go buy all her music. Go attend all her concerts everywhere in the world, live, online, you name it. Go just everything, Measha. Go and do it right now. And follow Fab Collab Live. We have an announcement that we're putting out later today, but March 7th, we're doing our next big festival show. It's out of Lula Lounge in Toronto. And one of the artists may or may not have been on this chat, but stay tuned for that. And ooh, and it's March 7th to celebrate International Women's Day. So of course we have an all-female lineup. I mean, it's also called Women in Song. So there you go. And more about that. And oh, Drew's brother and sister-in-law run that. No way. Cool, Amanda. Do they run the VSO? That's what you're talking about? The VSO? Okay, well, we'll wait for her to chat back there. I think we have some family in the VSO here. But anyways, yes, to sum it up, thank you so much, Measha. You're the best. I'm so happy to see you.
I'm running. I don't know.
Bye, go.
Right. I'm going. Am I going? I'm going.
Ole.
Ole.
Have a good day, everybody.
You too.
And thank you. Awesome. That's so cool, man. I'm going to text that to Measha as well. Harold and Carla Burston. Hi, guys. Bye, everyone. Next week, we'll be speaking. Oh, yes. Thank you, Leah. For those of you still here, next week, we'll be speaking with the director of 21 Black Futures by Obsidian. So that is super exciting. And we'll be posting about that, and Leah will be hosting. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And we'll see you next week with Leah and 21 Black Futures. Thanks, Amanda. Bye, everyone.